Hello, I'm Jeff Pedinero.
And I'm Modesto Guzman.
And you're listening to Film Q. That was a good one.
Finally.
Today, actually, let's catch up because it's been a month.
It feels like it. It's been...
No, I don't think... Because it has.
Okay, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. I was in Chile, so I have an excuse. I survived an earthquake.
And I survived...
That's the best story you're going to hear today.
Yeah, I survived TIFF by going to sleep at like 4 in the morning and then waking up at like 5:30 to go work for 7 hours and then going to watch more movies. This was my life during 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, it's a good life.
It wasn't that bad.
What movies did you watch? What movies did you
I watched a lot, so I just want to talk about a few.
Oh, yeah, talk whatever you like the most or didn't like.
I just want to talk about a few of them. There was The Witch, which is I
heard a lot of good things about that.
Yeah, it's a Victorian, Old English horror film, and it's pretty slow, but to me, I loved every moment I was while I was there, and it comes out unfortunately all the way at the end of February.
Your birthday.
It does. Luckily, I'm doing that for my birthday. I don't care.
Go ahead. No one's saying you can't, man.
Oh well then.
Loser.
Also, I also saw Room, which also ended
Room?
No, just Room.
Oh, not The Room.
Not The Room.
Okay.
No.
I'm like, why was that at TIFF?
I mean, it could be. Who knows? It ended up winning like the People's Choice Awards.
I know nothing about all those TIFF movies. I was out of the country.
What?
Did I mumble through that?
Room is the movie with Brie Larson.
Okay. Oh yeah, I heard she's like retweeting everyone's like praise of her performance, which is a little weird.
Well, it was deserved, and we both love Brie.
Yes.
I don't know if you know. I'm talking to nobody right now.
You're talking to a guest we haven't introduced. Whatever. We have a guest. Way to fuck that up, aren't you?
I'm bad at this. It's been a while.
We'll introduce you later.
All right. It's great. It's a very emotional movie. It feels like you can tell there's 2 parts to the film, and my only issue with it is that transition to the second part. But other than that, it hit me a lot. And then my favorite was Anomalisa, which was the new Charlie Kaufman film.
Another one I've heard a lot about.
Which is...
stop motion? Was it clay?
Yeah. Oh. Well, it was like sculpture. It was like puppetry.
Oh, okay.
You've seen Community. You know the... what is it? The Christmas episode.
Oh yeah.
So it was directed by the guy who directed that.
Oh.
Starburns was a producer on the film.
Starburns.
Really fucking weird being in one of the TIFF theaters and they're talking about.
Wasn't
Starburns.
he a writer on Community too, or something like that? Or am I thinking The Office?
Starburns?
No, I mean like I remember in The Office there was like 2 actors in the show who were also writers on the show. B.J. Thomas.
B.J. Novak.
B.J. Thomas is a baseball player, I think.
No, B.J. Novak wrote for it, and so did Mindy. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no one on Community like that. I swear there was.
Well, Jim Rash wrote an episode. Yeah. But yeah, Dino, who is Starburns, was a writer. He wrote the stop motion Christmas episode. I am a loss for words right now.
Invisible Guest. Did you watch Community?
Yes.
Yes.
You love Community?
I wouldn't say I love it, but
it's good.
I really like it. Yeah.
Okay, that's good enough. We won't kick you out.
Yeah. You're allowed to stay invisible for the next little bit.
And that comes out at the end of the year, so I'm really excited for that to come out, and I really want to watch it again and take as many people with me as possible, because I felt like even though the movie was animation and not human, it felt like the most human personal thing that I had seen all of TIFF. Mm-hmm. And then I saw Hellions. That movie was fucking awful.
I saw your review where you apologized to your friends.
Yep, I made 2 friends go with me, and throughout the entire movie I just kept turning to them and being like, I am so sorry. I'm sorry. This is a bad night.
Oh, why was it bad?
It was just awkward. It felt like an amateur film at many points, and it was done by like an apparently well-regarded Canadian director who made
there's your problem.
Cool. Yeah. And there were Degrassi.
I love David Cronenberg, so I take that back.
Well, it wasn't Cronenberg, so
No,
we're free.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just. It had like this weird fucking color hue, and there were like nice shots, and then there were awful shots, and there were things that didn't matter. Like the movie just was not good. There was a 5-minute sequence that like geographically shouldn't make sense. She had to go across the field to go to a bike, and in the process, she decided to go halfway across the field and then turn right into a bunch of blankets on clotheslines, and then stay there for like 3 minutes. It's like I was like, "This, no, go back to the bike. You're fucking up." And that's all I want to say about TIFF. And I saw The Visit. That was supposed to be an episode.
Yeah, what happened there? Because I was supposed to listen to that episode.
I know, I was really excited, but everybody in their bad schedules were. I hated it. It was really hard to schedule that.
We'll do a big Royal Rumble one day.
Yeah,
Make
short.
up for it.
Short.
Bring on. Oh, we should bring on all our old guests.
That would be
All our
that'd be
guests
a lot
all
of
at
people.
once.
Holy shit! We have 2 microphones. I don't know how this will work.
You can buy another one. Just one.
We have another USB port.
Well, there's those thingies.
Those thingies, yes.
Yeah, those thingies.
We are tired. The Visit was good. That's my short answer. You should watch it.
You finally made a good movie again.
I know, it's been all too
M. Night
long.
Shyamalan, because you haven't said his name.
Oh, well. That was the whole
Shyamalan.
bit that I had with the other people that were gonna join us. We were gonna have 5 minutes dedicated to us just trying to pronounce his name. It would have been a good episode. And then we can briefly
subtweeting them. Jeez.
we could briefly bring in Carrie so we can talk about Hotel Transylvania 2 that we saw a few days ago. And how was it?
It was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna lie. I fell asleep probably, I don't know, 3 times. And one time I woke myself up by burping. Most exciting thing that happened the entire time.
I didn't feel like it was that bad a movie. There was a...
It was, that's it.
There was a little...
I've never seen it.
There's a little boy in it, and the boy's cute, but that was like my only interest in the movie.
I saw the first one. I don't know. Did you guys see the first one?
No, we
I
didn't.
did not see the
Is
first
the first one any
I
good?
wouldn't have saw it.
I mean, it's the best thing Adam Sandler's been in a while, which
I
isn't
hate
saying much.
Adam Sandler
Exactly.
so much.
Exactly.
So maybe that's why I hated this movie. I think he's trash.
Every single time he like
worst.
opened his mouth,
Oh,
I just kept
God.
being like, "Stop!" Just
It's
stop.
the worst Dracula voice.
He thinks he's so funny.
There was a middle like a random like dance sequence, and we're just like, "Why is this happening?"
There were a few times that Andreas laughed, and I got
She
so
hated
mad. I turned and looked at him, being like, "How dare you laugh at this?"
I just kept saying, "I'm sorry."
It's a crime against humor.
To
You're
make
an
it even worse,
accessory.
it was in 3D, which was
Ugh.
unnecessary because nothing really happened that
No, but
made
it
the
looked-
3D
it was
good.
worthwhile.
Yeah.
It was pretty animation.
I'm surprised it wasn't like direct to video, because
Yeah.
the first one wasn't like some huge smash hit or anything.
But apparently, like, this comes out and it breaks records.
What? It broke a record?
Yeah, biggest debut in September.
I'm upset
Ever.
that I
Hero, stop barking.
contribute
Didn't
to
Luke-
that.
Dog, leave us alone. We are trying to record right
Didn't Looper come out in September?
Yeah.
Fucking beat Hotel Transylvania 2 beat Looper.
That's the only...
Now I hate that.
That's the only time that sentence will make sense.
Oh my god. Anyway, I was in Chile.
Yes.
I'll just quick run through what I watched. Probably my favorite movie I watched was probably Lake of Fire, which is a documentary about abortion, which got heavy real quick.
For an episode about Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Don't spoil it.
We always spoil.
No, because it was great. It just I don't even know where I want to go with this. I'll just
Movie about abortion, they're great. Next
Uh,
movie.
I will say it strengthened my opinion that that they should be legal, because I mean, all the horrible pressure and awful attacks on women by the Christian right is atrocious, and it's suffocating, and it's just a long continuation of oppressive behavior against women, the most oppressed group in all of history. So there's that spiel. Hopefully we get some hate comments, because I want to respond to that.
Bring them.
Bring it. Probably my least favorite movie I saw was, I feel bad about this because my dad wanted me to watch it. Was The Fearless Vampire Killers, which is Roman Polanski's movie before Rosemary's Baby.
Right, you told me about that.
I just feel like the humor just doesn't translate anymore. It's like old. It's in 1967.
That is pretty old.
Yeah, and I don't know. Shannon Tate's good in it, but you know, there's not much to say about it other than it's probably better than a better Dracula movie than Hotel Transylvania 2, at least.
I hope so.
better Dracula comedy even. There's a running theme. I saw Primer.
I was about to ask you about Primer. We need an episode dedicated.
Yeah, we're gonna
to
dedicate
Primer.
an episode of Primer because that's a puzzle that it can never be fucking solved.
Somebody at work brought it up to me the other day, and then also talked about what's that new Ethan Hawke like time travel movie?
Predestination.
That's it. He also brought that up, and he's like, "You need to watch both of them." And I was like, "I've seen Primer.
I've seen Predestination. I've seen both. Yeah, sorry.
You've seen both." And he's like, "What did you think about Primer?" And I'm just like, I don't fucking know. I still don't know.
Oh, I love that, and
Great.
I get it. Most of it, I think. There's just
I don't know
parts
if you
of it.
really need to get all that science stuff. Like,
No, it's not the science stuff. The science stuff is more just
a tool.
it's a tool to get at the idea that these guys know what they're doing, but in a really real sense they don't, right?
You remember that quote that I pull from that movie every time?
What?
I'm starving.
Yeah.
I haven't ate anything since like
tomorrow or something.
5 hours from now or something
Yeah.
like that. That makes me understand the movie a little.
The only part I don't get is the
That
part
sounds
with
confusing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, okay, enough talking about movies we saw. Oh god.
Okay, Carrie.
I must say, you know what? Okay, we haven't even introduced her properly yet. Our guest today is
Carrie Noble. That's me.
that is her.
Tell us a little about yourself, if you want.
I am. I'm 18. I don't have any fun facts about myself. Not sure how
So
to
she really
introduce
has no
myself.
license to talk about anything. Right?
Yeah, I'm a baby, but I'm a good time.
All right, I think we can continue from there.
Disregard that.
Edit. No.
That might stay in. All right, so the movie, she decided to bring a movie for the episode.
Oh wait, no. You know what?
Oh, okay.
Let's see who gets it from this. I have to stand up for this.
This bit is taking a
Yeah,
while.
I've already figured it out.
Bend.
I hope that was picked up.
Bend and snap, people.
So Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
In case anyone didn't get it.
So why did you want
I gotta
bring-
say, yeah. Why Legally Blonde?
Legally Blonde is probably one of my favorite movies. It's definitely between that and Clueless, which I bet you guys are both not too thrilled about.
Actually,
I
I've
like
heard good things about
Clueless a
Clueless.
lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard really good things. So.
Yeah. Well,
We're not your usual.
yeah. Legally Blonde. I don't know. It's always been one of my favorite movies. I've probably seen it over 50 times. It's like one of those movies you like watch on repeat or when you're bored on Netflix or whatever. I don't know. And I think it definitely like made me the person I am today. Because I'm very outspoken and like I don't know what the word is, but what's that word where like you're like, yeah,
Effervescent?
okay. Easily excitable.
Big words.
I'm just thinking about sim traits right now. I'm not gonna lie. Excitable. Outgoing. That's definitely the word I was looking for.
Where you
Not
said
effervescent? You were looking for
I don't know.
effervescent?
That's where you said outgoing. Like
Exuberant?
Did I?
I don't know.
Oh, I said,
You did say outgoing, that's
I
fine.
don't know then.
She's outgoing and outgoing, guys.
What's that word though? Like
Look up effervescent. It's
confident.
perfect.
I don't even
Confident.
spell that.
Probably from this movie because I don't know. Growing up watching that movie, I came out probably when I was like 8 or something.
Well, it came out in 2001.
All right, well, never mind. I think I was 4. But I probably watched
You
it
saw
when
it
I
on
was
TV
8.
probably.
Yeah,
when you were...
I don't know. I definitely didn't see it in the movie theater. Like, too young for that. But,
I went to the movies for the first time when I was 4.
really? I think my first movie ever was Finding Nemo.
Oh.
I hate you. That's
That's a good
lucky.
first
Yeah.
movie.
I think so.
Mine is
It's like
so
my-
bad.
What was your
Huh?
What was your first?
the final like Batman films. From
yeah, we had this
1%.
discussion.
Goddamn poison
See, look,
ivy.
effervescent, vivacious, and enthusiastic.
That is so me.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what vivacious means. I'm assuming it's me.
Yeah, let's look up vivacious now. Because that's the one I don't really use. I use effervescent a
This
lot.
podcast is now used as a dictionary.
Especially of a woman, attractively lively and animated. There you
That's
go.
for sure me. Especially the animated part.
Here you go, effervescent.
Yeah.
Your word for the day.
Mm-hmm.
She
New
gonna
word.
tweet that later.
I will tweet it.
Once we figure out.
It
how to
fits in with
spell it.
Legally Blonde because Reese Witherspoon, Elle. Right?
Yes, Elle Woods.
Elle Woods proves that she's smarter than she looks from the very beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's all state what we all think of this movie because obviously you love it,
I
Carrie.
love it so much.
So, Andres, what do you think?
I really like it. There are a few issues I have with it, but I don't think that. I think it's more dated reasons, and I'll get into that.
The gay character?
That's part of it.
That's the one part where I was like, ooh, this did not date well.
Yeah, but like there's also like some filming techniques that like kind of bug me, but those are like I don't really hold that against the film.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
But yeah, I told you
I was
about
the most
this,
skeptical
I
of
told you
it.
about this
Oh.
about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and I was like,
just like, this is what we're
fucking
doing.
I
legally-
heard about your reaction.
And you were not excited.
No, I mean, because my idea of what Legally Blonde was not what Legally Blonde is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When you said it, that was my reaction. I was like, Legally fucking Blonde? Why? Like, how are we gonna talk about this movie for even 20 minutes, right? But I watched it. I bought the fucking 2-pack, and I sent you a picture. Did you get that picture?
Yeah, I showed it to her,
Yeah,
and maybe I might post it on like our
do
Facebook.
it, because that picture sums up my reaction from when I heard it to up to just before I watched it, because I watched it that same night, and I actually ended up really loving it. It's really good. As you were saying, there's problems with it, but I wouldn't even say the problems are on a director level. I just think, one, it was directed by a man, which is, I think, wrong, because it was written by 2 women. It would have been perfect if it was directed
Was it
by a
written
man.
by 2 women?
Yeah.
I didn't look. Okay, she's pulling out knowledge I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, there. She did her homework.
It was directed by a man, and looking at what he's directed after, he's not an auteur in any sense, right?
No,
He's just
we.
a working director, and
I don't remember where we were, but we were eating somewhere, and we were talking about the movies.
Oh, and we looked up his.
And we looked up the movies, like his filmography, and we're like, man, is he
Yeah, I was
good at
dreading.
anything?
I was dreading it because I was like, oh god, if this is his filmography, what the hell am I in for? Right? It just supported my biased idea of what the movie was.
We also want to say right now that the sequel, which is called Legally Blonde 2 Red,
White and
White and
Blonde.
Oh yeah, I even got it wrong.
we think that is a horrible title, and we wanted it to be
Legally Blonder.
Yeah.
Legally Blonder.
All right, that makes sense.
And then there's a third one.
Legally Blondest.
No,
No,
Legally Blonde.
It is trash. It is not.
Is the second one even worth watching?
No, it's honestly not that great.
All right, then.
Only the first one is. They went really wrong with the second one. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's really not good.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see who's behind the second
third one is not even a part of it. It's two
Yeah.
complete different people.
Yeah, it didn't
It's
even
like
come in my 2-pack.
It's like
Clearly, it's the 2-pack.
two teenagers that are very Disney style.
Yeah.
They probably are Disney Channel characters. Actually, I don't even know. And I haven't even watched it. I mean, I think I might have watched half of it and then gave up. But I don't remember it because it was trash. It was
Yeah.
very shit.
It was very shit.
I don't recommend that one at all.
Here's your pull quote for your poster. It was very shit. But yeah, no, I was completely won over, kind of from the outset. Like I mentioned, where you know what's interesting about this movie is that our idea of the movie is the very same idea that everyone has of Elle.
Yeah.
So you think, oh, this is gonna be a dumb,
Exactly.
stupid movie that's all about surface details and nothing else, right? And then from the very outset, where she shows up that store clerk, you get the sense, whoa, Elle and the movie by extension is much smarter and it knows what's going on.
That's also funny. That's the first point I made in my notes.
Yeah, because
About how smart she is, like, and how she's
because it
not
has to
easily
establish
framed.
that quickly. Because I think everyone goes into that movie, not everyone, I mean, most people go into that movie thinking this is going to be your typical arc about a dumb girl learning to find some smarts or some shit. But no, she's always smart from the beginning. In fact, what I like about this movie is that she really doesn't have an arc in the sense that she's growing as a person. It's more everyone's coming to respect her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in a way, she's coming to respect herself a bit, but it's not because she ever thought she was dumb. It's because she just doesn't have the confidence.
I felt like it was more like that's the person she thought she was supposed to become. And if there was an arc, it was her realizing that she's smarter than that. Instead of what was she in school for?
Yeah, and
for
she's above
fashion?
idiots like that dude. What? I forgot his name. I'm bad with names.
Which dude?
The dude,
boyfriend.
the boyfriend. The whole
Warner?
reason she Warner.
Warner.
There,
Warner's a piece of shit. That's my
Terrible.
that's my second point. He is a jerk. He also
I think
not
the best
acted
part
very
about
well.
this movie, though, is that it's not really a romantic comedy as
No, not at
everyone
all.
thinks it is.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought it was.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, it's going to be a romantic comedy. Like, I don't want to watch it. But it really isn't at all. It's just basically her proving that she can
Yeah.
do anything that she wants. It's actually like a really good feminist movie.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
totally. That's what I love about it.
Probably why I like it that much.
It's about sisterhood in a way that isn't, because a lot of movies about not a lot of movies, but sometimes people, when they talk sisterhood, usually exclude other women from that conversation. Like you say, oh, but she's the dumb blonde or whatever, and we're strong females, but these people are undermining the cause or whatever, right? But really, this movie is about everyone, all women being accepted and respected for whatever their strengths and stuff are.
Yeah. Like, even, when she finds out that Warner has a fiance.
Yeah.
And then in typical movie, that would be like her competition.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, now she has to fight that. And in the end, they
just
become
best
long life
friends.
best
Yeah.
friends, right? Which is really important. Like,
Yeah.
she immediately doesn't really dislike her. Well,
No.
she tries to be your friend throughout the entire movie.
Exactly.
She just wants a friend.
There's that.
Don't we all?
I feel like with a better director, this movie would have maybe hit those points a little harder. Not to say, just the more that it's just so blandly directed.
Yeah, it felt like there was no real direction.
Yeah,
like, it was like here are the lines.
It's like just a camera was placed in the room and they're like act, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and Reese is the only one who kind of brings something to it. Everyone else.
yeah, Reese is fantastic in this movie.
Everyone else sort of just feels there.
Well, her friend in it also kind of makes the movie too. What's her name? Is it Pauline?
The manicurist.
Yeah, the manicurist.
Yeah.
Them together, like, I don't know. I like that actress anyways.
Yeah.
I just think
I
she's
forgot her
kind of
name.
funny.
Yeah,
I
she's
don't remember her name either, but
I looked it up too.
I do like her.
Yeah,
I know
she's
that.
great.
I like her in most movies, especially I don't know if another like young movie, but A Cinderella Story where she plays the stepmom. She's good in that one too.
I haven't seen
Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
Jennifer Coolidge. That's it.
Paulette.
Yeah.
That's her
Okay,
name.
Paulette. I don't know. She really does. She helps.
What's great about her character too is that her relationship with Elle shows that Elle isn't not a bigot, but like she's not judgmental in any way.
Yeah.
That she's very warm and she's loving and she cares about this person, right? And it's in contrast with all these other people who we consider smart or who are aesthetically not aesthetically but outwardly smart, bookish looking, right? And so you expect them to be better people, but they're not, right? And we see that Elle, who by all appearances is, you would think because of our preconceived notions that she's self-absorbed or whatever, is really the most caring person in the movie. And so her relationship with Paulette really demonstrates that, especially when she's trying so hard to get her with the UPS guy, who I love in this, by the way, who's just so
perfect,
cheesy in a good way,
so
just the smiles, like just the hanging.
Yeah. Like, I got a package for
you. I got a package for you. There was another one, so I was like, I can't remember that. But yeah, returning, because there was a point I wanted to make about her relationship with what's her name? The Selma Blair's character.
Vivian.
Where I love that in any other movie, these two, it shows that these writers knew what they were doing, because in any other movie, these two would have fought like tooth and nail, and in the end, one would have shown the other up and stolen the dude.
Yeah.
Or even if he just doesn't get the dude, it would be clear that Elle would have won in some sense, right?
Exactly.
Over her. But instead, they come together in a way to just show that Warner's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, and ends up alone.
Yeah, and ends up alone.
And no, like, job offers or anything.
Exactly.
That's like, the best part of the movie.
Exactly. That's what you get for being a fucking asshole.
That's what he deserves.
Yeah. By the way, Luke Wilson, I was not expecting to be so charmed by him.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, damn, Luke.
Really?
Yeah, you weren't charmed by Luke Wilson?
No.
You soulless bastard.
I didn't really like what he was doing in the movie. He just felt awkward. But that's where the thing is that I had my issue with was that a lot of the scenes that I saw like Luke and Reese acting together, it was like edited weirdly and awkwardly, and I felt like there was no real chemistry between the two.
Well, I guess now that you say that, what I would say, or what I would think you're maybe picking up on, is that perhaps it would have been better if it wasn't a romantic relationship, if that he just is defined by his respect for her, that he's the one that sees through those preconceptions.
Yeah, at first I was happy with it. I was fine with it, but there's the one scene where they're going. He joins her to go to the spa, and they're talking in the car, and it's like it felt as if everybody would say their line, pause, and then say their next line. It wasn't like it didn't feel like it was a real conversation, and that's why my issue was with the editing.
I think it was the audio editing, because it sounds overdubbed, but that's
why I'm like it's minor
things,
other things, and it felt like it was like a data thing because it was 2001, and that might have been how things were edited back then. And
I think it's just, again, it's indicative of perhaps producers themselves did not have the faith in this movie that even that like someone like me didn't have, and so they sold it as a romantic comedy, whereas and probably gave it the funding a romantic comedy would get, which is lower, instead of the almost like a real feminist drama at the center of this film. And that's probably why again they have that director who's hasn't done anything, which isn't to diminish his, like, if you can work in Hollywood, then good for you, right? But I just feel after watching this movie, the writing is so strong, I just kind of wish it had someone with a little stronger sense of craft, right?
Yeah, it just didn't feel like much was happening on the screen.
But back to my point, why are you so bigoted against Luke Wilson?
I don't know. I don't have an issue with him. I made a comment saying I want him to go back and work with Wes some more.
Oh,
I just feel like
the thing
Wes
is
gets
here
a bit more,
because Luke is good at playing kind of like the sad sack, but here I don't know if it's the long hair, but something was doing it for me, man. I was feeling burnings.
Kind of speaking about Wes, one of my favorites was I think about when she made the video essay.
Oh yeah.
And she made the one line.
I do like that board meeting.
Yeah, and she's like, I even hired a Coppola to direct my.
Oh
video.
yeah. Which is clearly something a writer would write.
Yeah, I was like, this is genius. I feel like she wouldn't even know who Coppola is at this point.
That's you being prejudiced, man.
I don't know. She didn't seem like a film person. I believe her being a lawyer. I don't believe her being like aware of this.
Cinephile.
Yeah, there was no
everyone knows the Coppolas.
Do they really?
Yeah, they're like the big family in Hollywood.
Maybe my family likes to call them the mafia family.
There, see, even your family knows.
My family's weird though. We're not talking about that.
Carrie, any words on Legal Bond that we may have? Why is it so special for you?
I don't know. Like I said, like growing up watching it, I think it really did make. Well, that's kind of cheesy to say, but I think it like helped me make who I am. Like,
yeah,
I mean, that all the time,
right? But watching it, being like, okay, she's supposed to be this like airhead, really pretty girl can do pretty much like she can, she can buy a lot of things, and but like she can also get into Harvard.
Yeah.
I could probably get into Harvard
with a better score than fucking Warner.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Warner.
A really good score, actually.
Yeah. I don't know how the scoring works, but
I know she got a 179.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a 175.
You have to have a 175. I don't
Okay.
know I don't remember what he got, but as they say after he got waitlisted.
Yeah, she didn't even get waitlisted.
Yeah.
She just got right in. Also, he got the help of his daddy to get
exactly.
You didn't have to put quotes around that.
I really did.
Yeah.
Hate that word. But
it's funny because I was thinking that the other day too, because in Spanish you have like papi or whatever, and it's normal. But then if you say, and no adult says daddy.
No one, well,
in English, this is
I guess
weird.
some adults say daddy,
Yeah,
but like not in a way that they should.
Yeah, but in a context that is really weird for anyone
Yeah,
outside of that
yeah.
context to use.
But yeah, she like got in. I think I also might have looked it up. I don't know, a few years ago or something. Like about the scoring system, and that 179 is really good, and a lot of people don't even get that high. So the fact that she even got that and putting like so much dedication into studying, there was a whole montage of it, right? Like she wanted to go to parties, but she focused. She studied. She like did practice tests all the time. Her friends even helped her, and they must have learned them things too to like test them.
That's another.
Right?
I forgot to mention that point because I love the fact that they show how much work she puts into it. It's not that she's just a genius, because that would be too easy, right? It's that she works hard and she is studying and she is getting help from her friends, and this is not something that that is just coming to her, is given to her. She's working for it.
Yeah.
And that's what, like you say, it's cheesy, but I mean, it's always great that when the movie does that to you, when it inspires, right? And we're so afraid of like being corny and stuff, but it's true. And if Legally Blonde did that for you, then Legally Blonde deserves. Well, because the way we were supposed to be framing this is, does it go into the canon of great movies?
Yeah.
And I guess my answer would be yeah, because it does thing. It's a feminist movie in a way that isn't militant in a way, which isn't to say there's problems with that. I don't want to come off as saying, but I mean, it's feminist in a way that is inclusive. I'll say that is not exclusive in the sense that it picks who is allowed into the like what kind of woman you're supposed to be a feminist. It just says no, you deserve equal respect and treatment regardless of who you are or what you do or how smart you are or how dumb you are. Blonde, brunette. By the way, I think Amy Nicholson would love this movie because she's a huge blonde supporter, and this is the one movie where blondes get super respected.
I'm surprised she hasn't talked about it on the canon yet.
Maybe she has the same idea of it that I had, because Lord knows I was not looking forward to it, but I would say this movie belongs in the canon of great films.
I think that's also why I was kind of excited for you guys to watch this, because I had a feeling that you both would not enjoy it, but having a different idea of it, right? Everyone's like, oh, it's definitely going to be this boring romantic comedy, but it really isn't.
I remember.
I'm glad you ended up suggesting it, because I would have never gone to revisit it otherwise, and I would have always had this horrible idea of the movie.
I remember liking it,
and I love having my mind changed.
I never really was like I don't remember being blown away by it before, but I remember the message of the film, and I was like, regardless of how well made the film is or whatever, at least it got the message across, and I was like, that has to be commendable in its own right. And watching it, I did enjoy it a lot more than I thought I would. Not that I went in with low expectations like you did, but I thought it was going to be...
my expectation was fucking rock bottom.
Exactly.
That's why I feel so good to have
I was like, I'm going to have a good time watching this, and I had a better than just a good time, and it was a nice watch. I think I watched it one night, like late after coming home from work, and I was kind of tired and a little bummed from the shitty place.
I feel that.
I'm keeping that in. And it was nice to watch.
Yeah. I tweeted a picture of like my film queue, and Legally Blonde was in there, right? And this is before I watched it, so I was like, this is my film queue and Legally Blonde. And my sister-in-law ended up responding saying, "Oh, Legally Blonde's one of my guilty pleasures." And then after I watched it, I'm like, there should be no guilt in this, right? It's just a pleasure. It's a great movie that just happens to have this stigma against it.
Yeah.
I think that would be like the same thing for us. Like when you should ask her when was the last time she watched it. Because to me, before watching it, I would have called it a guilty pleasure too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as much of a guilty pleasure, if that makes sense. But like,
well, you know my stance on guilty pleasures. I don't think they exist. But
it was funny because you made it. One of the questions be like, which one is your guilty pleasure? But
yes, just so I could
turn around and be like, there's no such thing.
Yeah, it was just an excuse.
Fucking guy.
So Andres, does it go into the canon for you?
I don't know. I think
because it's a big thing to say.
It's a big thing.
Why not then? Why are you having doubts?
What was your favorite part from him? Like most memorable part? Memorable.
Memorable. I don't know. I'm tired.
Remember any of it?
Not at all. Come on. The one thing I will say is the bend and snap for being so memorable is
it's iconic.
Okay, for being iconic, kind of feels like it's
thrown in.
Yeah.
It is like one of the most well-known things, I think.
Yeah, it's just weird. It just comes out of nowhere and it has nothing to do with anything, really.
That's true.
Maybe the courtroom scenes.
Courtroom. Oh, that's your favorite?
Yeah.
The way she turns on the.
Yeah, when she figures it out the perm.
Through the perm, yeah. Linda Cardellini, by the way. So.
Ooh, there's a thing I just thought of. Okay, you know how she goes to that costume party?
Yeah.
It's not really a costume party, and she comes as a bunny.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that bunny like one of the like a feminist icon bunny? It's not just a Playboy bunny. I think I read that at some point. But do you know what the bunny that I'm talking about, right? She's like in the pink satin with the bunny ears.
I think I do.
Yeah, I think
it'd be interesting.
I think it really is. Like, I'm pretty sure I googled that not that long ago. And also that really, it brings into my favorite part of the movie when she goes up to Warner and she's like, I'm never going to be good enough for you. Yeah. And then starts that montage of her like buying a bunch of like school shit, like getting a computer and really trying hard.
Yeah, that's what I love about it too, is like when she figures out that Warner's a piece of shit, is how I'm going to word it. She doesn't give up and leave Harvard. She just tries even harder.
Yeah, to rub it in his face.
Exactly.
Not to get him back.
No, to prove that she can do this regardless of what her initial motives were. That she's smart and capable. Mm-hmm. I really like this movie.
Yeah, I think the best part of that montage also is the music, which I really like the music in this movie.
I gotta say, I'm really picky with music, and I've said this before. Early 2000s music, movie music is always.
I really like the.
I mean, what music is it? I don't remember.
Well, I know the first song like in the movie when it starts is "A Perfect Day."
Okay.
It's a perfect day. I can't sing. It's on a register.
I used to have it on my iPod, and I'd like listen to it, walking. Leaving school, obviously going to school. Not a perfect day. Yeah. But I don't know, some of the songs in there I think went well, especially since they're very like.
There's a James Brown song in there, and I'll always go for some James Brown. No, fuck, I had a point. I forgot it. Oh wait, you were still going about why you didn't like. Oh, not why you didn't like it, but why you don't think it goes in the canon. Is it because
I don't have a reason against it?
It's just you don't feel it reaches that pinnacle of what a great movie should be?
I guess so. I think it's just because it's just that whole, I don't feel like it's dated that well. I don't know.
I mean, other than the gay character who is revealed through his knowledge of shoes or fashion, I should say.
Oh, that's not the one I was referring to. I was talking about the
craft of
the
it?
intern. No.
The intern. Why am I blanking out on this character? The what?
The lesbian.
Oh, yeah. She's... Actually, I was thinking about her character a lot because I was thinking this movie is clearly a feminist film. Why is she so hateful in a way? I was trying to reconcile that. And I
felt like... Well, first, outside of Elle, for the most part, most of these characters feel a bit cartoonish characters.
Like archetypes?
Yeah, and with her, it was like the most clearest representation of that.
The lesbian feminist. But I think what this movie is doing, after thinking about it for a while, the movie is never absolutely criticizing that character or pushing her aside kind of thing. But it's saying that this exists, it's a part of it, but this is not what this movie is, right? It's saying this is a form that feminism takes, and this is, if you were to mistake the feminist messages in this film, this might be your idea of it, but
why is my brother screaming right now?
But the film is saying this is to the side of what we really are, which is Elle, which is why she's the focus and not the lesbian feminist, who isn't a hateful character. She just kind of misunderstands Elle as well, right? Because that's where the crux of this film lies, is Elle is a stand-in for the whole movie in its entirety, right? And I've made this point where you think the movie is going to be exactly what everyone thinks Elle is going to be. So it would make sense that feminists would look at this movie and think, oh, this is going to be demeaning. It's going to be another terrible representation of women. But then she ends up being convinced otherwise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've reconciled that character.
It was just the Sylvester Ovester joke that I was just like, ugh.
Sylvester Ovester.
It was at the party, and she was saying how she wanted to talk to, I think, the principal or something.
Oh, is that semen nester or whatever?
Yeah, and it was like, oh, why do they call it a semester? It's obviously because the school has a preference over semen or something. And I was just like, I remember just like cringing in my seat. I'm just like, I was like, this is a weird joke. She's like, I want to call it Ovester. And I even remember, I think she was telling that to Warner, and even Warner is like weirded out. And then I hated myself because I'm like, oh,
I'm on Warner's side.
I'm on Warner's side. Who am I right now?
Yeah, other than just being a bad joke, because I would agree that it lands badly for me.
Those are the things where it's just like I felt like if I would have remembered that joke when it came out, because of like the type of humor back then, it wouldn't have made a big deal. But now that, I don't know, I just felt like it didn't.
I think it was a bad joke in 2001. It's a bad joke now, and that's all it really is.
I feel like I might have laughed at that before. That's the thing.
Yeah, but you were also 8.
Well, not when it came out.
I was the oldest of the two. Yeah, so final words on Legally Blonde. Carrie?
Just a really great movie. I don't even... I know there was one part when my mom always references this, is when she's talking about Brooke, when she's accused of killing her husband, and she says, or I have it written down, I'm not going to remember it from my head, but she says, endorphins make you happy, and happy people don't kill their husbands. That's when I learned what an endorphin was. And so I think about that all the time. Yeah. Say it all the time.
Happy people don't murder.
One of my favorite lines, I think, in a movie.
Good.
Yeah. There are a few lines in that I really, really like. But also, actually, an important part of it is, when, I forget his name, but like the teacher guy like hits on Elle and puts his hand on him. Yeah, that's like a very important part of the movie, where Vivian, like, when they start becoming friends, and then she gets all mad, but like important part that she deals with like sexual harassment. Yeah, because it's that was a really important the deepest part of the movie.
Yeah, because it gets pretty fucking dark there, because it could have easily just been like, all right, she gains the respect of everybody and blah blah blah. But it's saying, again, part of the feminist message, that this is something that women have to go through, that they'll, even when they prove themselves to be far and beyond capable of anything, they'll get this fucking pig to harass them or to demean them in a way and still view them as some sexual object. Yeah, I mean, that happens all the time. It's like definitely one of those topics that is coming up. I mean, I was sexually harassed on the subway once, coming home from school on a busy subway, and I reported to the police, and the police, of course, asked me, well, what were you wearing? Yeah, that's
like,
the worst. I hate when
making
they
it seem like as if it was my fault.
Yeah.
And of course, my answer was
It's
my
victim
school
blame.
uniform, which is a short skirt and a low shirt. And they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Okay,"
That doesn't
but that
justify
doesn't mean that was
anything.
my fault. And
you could be fucking naked. It doesn't make any difference.
Person sits beside me on the subway. They're like, "Okay, she's obviously mine." Like that doesn't, And in the movie too, Vivian's like, "Okay, it's her fault." That happened,
exactly.
Right? And she doesn't understand because a lot of people don't understand.
No.
But even when that happened to me, so many people were like, "Well, maybe you should have covered up."
Yeah.
Like it was obviously your fault. I'm like, no, it's not. It doesn't matter what.
It doesn't
what happened.
Keep your fucking hands to yourself.
Exactly, and that part I think is very important in the entire movie.
It's. Thank you for bringing that up because I completely forgot about that.
I forgot about it until now.
Because I remember when it happened in the movie, I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah.
This is again. I had already been won over. But at that point, I'm like, this is even going into deeper things without having to hammer it home. It just happens. And then it gets into a different shade of it where you said where Vivian misunderstands.
Yeah.
And so it gets into that victim blaming aspect of it. And so it never lingers or hammers this point home, but it's there and it's present and it's vital to the conversation, which, oh, man. It goes in the canon, Andres.
Okay, fine.
What did you think about that part, Andres?
I always remember that scene. That was I think that was one of the scenes outside of like the bend and snap. Though I didn't remember that whole thing turned into like a dance sequence.
Yeah.
I always remembered it. I was just like,
full on.
I was just like, why is this going still? That was something I always remember they tackled. But I didn't. I remembered how Vivian like attacked her for it, but I didn't realize the whole victim blaming thing because I was obviously way too young to understand that part of it. But it was a dark thing, and I think they like handle it very well. And
they handle it with a subtlety and maturity that a lot of quote unquote feminist movies just don't.
And then even when like what is Luke Wilson's character's name?
Emmett.
Luke Wilson.
Emmett? Thank you. Even like when Emmett brings it up and told like Vivian, I was like, oh, this happened, and Vivian's like, shit, I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. I didn't even give her a chance to talk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very understanding, you know.
Yeah. That seals the deal for me, and I will say it's a great movie, and I'm super happy that you recommended it because I now have a favorite, like a genuine favorite movie. I wish, like, there's some things you change, but no movie's perfect, and a movie not being perfect is actually better because it lends character, it lends another aspect to the conversation. So, I guess final word for me is that you don't be like me and dismiss the movie outright because of what you think it might be, and instead just watch it and watch it with an open mind. You don't even have to have that open mind because it will win you over.
It will.
It's charming, it's funny, and it's smart. Like Elle at the center of the film, it'll win you over and you'll be cheering. To put it in a cheesy way, but like I said, don't be afraid to be cheesy. That would be my pink. My pink is being cheesy. Just wear it proudly. Carrie, thank you. And where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Carrie Ann Noble and on Instagram as Carrie Sucks. And Sucks is spelled S-U-X, by the way.
I gotta find that now. I love Instagram. And what is in your film queue? I put a weird emphasis there.
I'm looking forward to seeing The Walk, which a lot of people are not looking forward to seeing.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think maybe Everest.
Ooh, I want to see Everest.
Yeah, it looks. I think I'd want to see it in IMAX.
Yeah, that's like one of the few times it'd be like IMAX is the way to go.
I'm not much for IMAX, but I think.
Did you see the trailer when they were playing it at like in IMAX at our work?
No, I missed it.
Holy
A lot of
shit.
people saw it though.
I would walk into the theater and just watch it play, and I'm just like, this looks awesome, and I'm really sad that they're not playing it.
Yeah, I am really sad too. We did get a few good ones though, I guess.
followed Carrie Sucks.
Thank you.
Andres, where can we find you?
Twitter and Instagram, it's all at Pocket Writer. You can also go look at some reviews I wrote from TIFF at Unrealflix, UNREEL.
You got the most shit going on, dude.
I'm trying, but I'm also tired.
Alright. What's in your film queue?
I recently as in yesterday, I picked up the Jinx on Blu-ray, and I really want to.
It's so fucking good.
I want to find a day where I can just kind of sit down and watch all of it.
Yeah, I was planning, like, when I first started that, I was like, oh, this will be my movie, my show for the next 2 months.
Yeah, no.
I finished it in the week because I was like, I watched 4 episodes back to back to back to back.
I probably won't watch it all in one day, but maybe like split across 2 days or something.
No one's saying you have to watch it all in one day.
I wanted to. Other than that, there's also Cooties.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Which apparently was playing in Toronto last week, and it is no longer playing in Toronto. And I looked it up, and the only theater right now playing it, unless it's like maybe some art house sort of smaller theaters, I should check that out.
Yeah.
But the only Cineplex theater that's playing it is in Halifax. So I might have to like do some
buy a
VOD
plane
stuff.
ticket.
Yeah, that is way too
or a
far
train
for-
ticket.
And the other one will be what we're doing next week. I want to see The Walk, but I think it'd be a better
The
episode
Martian?
for us to talk about The Martian.
Yeah, because we have some controversial opinions on Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Oof.
Jeffrey, where can we find you?
Yeah, where can we find
you can find me on Instagram at Jeffrey_Pedernera, PEDERNERA. And you can find me at Twitter. I have to always look it up, so I'm sorry. Jeff_Ped, JEFF_PED. And on Letterboxd, I am Jeff Ped altogether.
All right, that's Letterboxd too. I forgot about that. It's still
It's
Pocket Writer.
Everything's Pocket Writer for you.
Awesome.
My film queue consists of Legally Blonde 2, because now I'm enthusiastic.
That's what our next episode should be about.
I'm hopefully not going to be too disappointed.
Oh,
You might be.
We'll see. I'm finishing up my Marx Brothers movies. I'm in their post-Zeppo phase. Then McCabe and Mrs. Miller, which an earthquake prevented me from watching in Chile. Arsenic and Old Lace, Wonder Boys, The Magnificent Ambersons, and Wild Zero. Hopefully I can get all that done this week. Other than that, consider the question, Legally Blonde in the canon or no? This was our tribute episode, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Listen to The Canon by Devin Faraci and Amy Nicholson, because that is a great show.
Today they released the episode where they face The Fly versus The Thing. And
That's a tough fucking choice.
fuck.
Yeah.
And,
I don't even spoil that, because I'm so interested in that discussion.
well, I mean, like, the good thing about it is that it's the audience that chooses,
Yeah.
not them.
Oh, yeah. Where do they side? I'm guessing Devin is with The Thing.
And Amy's with The Fly.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it.
What would you, if you would have to choose?
I'd probably have to go The Thing. I love The Fly. I adore The Fly. I love David Cronenberg, but The Thing is just perfect. Are
Go
you?
with The Fly.
Oh God, we have to have an episode. Carrie, have you seen any of those? No. Oh,
You have to
do
watch
it.
some.
Do it.
So
yeah.
you like body horror stuff?
Like Saw?
Yeah, that's body horror.
Kind of, but it's more like
Be like grossed out.
it's more like transformational sort of horror as opposed
so
to
like mucus and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm more of like, my kind of horror is more like Paranormal Activity. Like the really terrible,
like
like,
making you
based
jump.
on a true
Yeah.
story kind of things.
I
I like those.
I feel like giving her a hug and then helping her with better horror films.
I get scared easily.
Hey man,
I like-
own
Start
what you like.
somewhere.
Own
I
what
like
you
alien movies, but I have to watch them with other people because I'm afraid I'm gonna get abducted while I'm watching it. So the fourth kind by myself, I fuck myself up. Now I'm afraid to just sleep sometimes. I'm gonna be afraid to sleep tonight.
Oh, that's like when my dad, we watched Paranormal Activity. He had the lights on all night, all day.
Really?
Yeah, he wouldn't go anywhere in the house without a light on.
That's what happened with
But he's fucking terrified of everything. So
That's what happened with my My brother, every single time he watches Poltergeist, he's still
Oh, I love Poltergeist.
he's still scared.
I still haven't seen Poltergeist.
Like the original one?
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's old, but it's like it's good.
Oh,
It's definitely a good
It's
one.
definitely.
Don't see
there's
the new
the-
one though. I haven't
No.
seen it, but I doubt it's good.
No. I saw it. No.
But have you seen the Paranormal Activities, right?
Yeah.
Did you watch them in the right order?
I didn't see all of them. I've only seen 1 and 2.
It's weird because there's 1, 2, and 3, but you're actually supposed. I don't know why I'm saying this, but you're supposed to watch them 3, 2, and 1 for it to
Really?
make
Is
sense.
it 3, 2, 1 or is it 3, 1, 2?
No, it's 3, 2, 1 because like they start off as
Why?
babies.
Okay. Why are
No,
what-
they start off as adults and then they go to like towards
Yeah.
babies. But like if you watch it 3, 2, 1, it's like their whole life.
Really?
What?
I guess it's kind of cool that they made
Where
it
do the
like that.
Spanish people fit in?
That's like a spin-off in between
Yeah.
the 4. I don't remember.
There's
Very-
the 4.
What is
is
up
bad.
with like these fucking new franchises that there's like 6 of them, but they're never in order.
Uh-huh.
So like Fast and the Furious. I remember right, the
Like 4, 5, and 6.
no 3 is 1.
Hmm?
Just- no wait.
No, I mean 4. It's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6,
Oh yeah,
3,
and then
7.
And then the Insidious films are like 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1.
What?
Yeah, because they just go back in time.
I've never seen a Insidious.
The first one will do.
Like I had to wear the T-shirt at work, but like I've not seen it. I also haven't seen any like the Divergence, and we had to wear those.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That one's fine. You
I
don't mind.
Don't have to
honestly,
beat yourself up over
I
it.
thought it was called detergent for like the longest time. So I don't know what they're even about. Have you seen The Maze Runner?
No, I want to though.
I liked it.
I
I know
heard.
the second one is coming out.
It came out.
Oh, it came
Oh,
out.
it came
Okay.
out.
Torch
It came out
Trials,
like
yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, no, I've heard good things. I want to see it.
I liked the first one.
I have a weird
promise.
thing for mazes. Like,
All right.
All right, whatever. I want to explain myself.
No, tell me more about Maze. Now I'm intrigued.
How much do
I don't know.
How much
Whenever
do
a
you
movie
love
takes-
the ending of The Shining?
Oh, I adore that shot of the mazes. I don't know. Maybe it's the OCD, but I love seeing the patterns and shit.
Mazes are cool.
Yeah.
Corn mazes.
I've never been to a corn. Actually, no, I have.
You haven't?
If you love mazes so much, why haven't you been in
Yeah.
one?
What the
Well,
hell?
fuck, I
Have
don't
you
know where
been-
they are.
Have you been in a mirror maze though? Those things are the worst.
Oh yeah, no, I got super
I
scared.
fucking hate that. Always walk into myself. So terrible.
This has been my favorite post. Like, where can I find you?
Continuing our streak of terrible endings. This
Oh,
is
it's a good one.
This is a good one. I think our ending was longer than our fucking episode. All right. Consider the question. This is Film Q. Bye.